I am Jamaican, and this message is only for the Black Americans. Black Americans, when I tell you I admire everything about you guys, Black Americans, when I tell you every time I see someone and they say they're a Black American, I just be staring at you guys and I admire you guys so much because
This is what I got to say. Nobody is giving any energy to the fact that Jamaicans and African Americans have a great relationship and have history together.
Hello good people, welcome to African Commentary. Here we learn and grow every day, and if you are new here, kindly consider subscribing, liking and sharing the video. I will really appreciate. So I came across a certain video whereby a Jamaican lady was sending a message of love towards Black Americans. I know that there is always this diaspora wars between Jamaicans, Black Americans, Africans. It's not worth it, guys. I was just happy to come across this video and I said I'm going to share with you guys. Let me know your thoughts about this in the comment section down below, and I'll give my 2 cents at the end.
I am Jamaican, and this message is only for the Black Americans. Black Americans, when I tell you I admire everything about you guys, Black Americans, when I tell you every time I see someone and they say they're a Black American, I just be staring at you guys and I admire you guys so much because you guys been through a lot. Happy Black History Month. Thank you, because to this day you're still fighting, and when you're fighting universal. Thank you, Black Americans. I personally want to tell you a big thank you for all that you do, all that you're still doing, all that you... But Black Americans, I just want to tell you, thank you. Thank you.
I lied. This is my last video. Shouts out to Jamaica. This is what I got to say. Nobody is giving any energy to the fact that Jamaicans and African Americans have a great relationship and have history together. Jamaica invaded Jacksonville, Florida in the 1980s and the 1970s, and they never left. They came to our neighborhoods, they fronted us that work, we were good to them, and it was a beautiful relationship. It's Jamaican restaurants all over. We never had any beef with Jamaica. Come on, man. Can we get some love for having a successful relationship? We have so much of it. I know it's a few of y'all got problems and this, that, and whatever, and y'all beef a little bit. And all y'all trying to claim Jamaica. We didn't have to claim Jamaica. Jamaica being here with us. We are one with our brothers in Jamaica.
Why is the Jamaican identity seen as more valid, even though Black Americans and Jamaicans were created under the same conditions? In short, the answer is because proximate alienation and the diasporic division stratagem. I have made several videos about this. If you want to know more in-depth information about those, go check those videos out, right? But for the rest of this video, I am going to explain why Jamaican identities are seen as more valid than Black Americans. The number one reason why Jamaicans' identities is seen as more valid than Black Americans is because their identity fits into the colonial template of what a valid identity should look like. Identity is often validated by symbols of statehood. Jamaica was granted independence in 1962. They have a flag, a national anthem, and a seat at the United Nations. Black America has no sovereign nation state. Our identities are not tied to land ownership, but to a shared historical struggle within the U.S. The Jamaican identity is geographic. They are from the nation of Jamaica. This is a concept that is easy for the world to understand and validate. Whereas the Black American identity is generational. It is tied back to the lineage of U.S. chattel slavery. This is a nuanced concept that the world is not trained to recognize. The result is that Jamaicans have unquestioned valid identity because they are recognized as being a nation. Black Americans, on the other hand, are constantly policed for our identities because we lack a nation state to legitimize our identity. The second factor of this is ethnogenesis. The Jamaican ethnogenesis, right, the formation of a new ethnic identity, happened primarily around resistance to a colonial power on native land. Their identity is solidified through the fight for and achievement of political independence. The culture, patois, Rastafarianism, Drake cuisine, is seen as organic to their geographic homeland. The Black American ethnogenesis is atypical of most ethnogenic identities. The Black American ethnogenesis happened through forced assimilation and then isolation through proximate alienation within a domestic setting. Our culture, AAVE, jazz, hip hop, soul food, was forged not in pursuit of a separate state, but as a tool of survival and identity making within the nation that enslaved us. Because of this, the world identifies us as a subculture rather than the core of a new ethnic identity. The third aspect of this is racial management. America and Jamaica were managed completely different. They created different social hierarchies. The Jamaican model, or the British colonial model, was formed by absentee plantation owners. The British often lived abroad, leaving Black people largely to themselves on the island, which allowed them to preserve and synthesize a more African cultural retention away from constant white surveillance. So they were able to preserve more of their cultural identities before slavery because they weren't being constantly surveyed by white plantation owners. The British racial system was brutally rigid, but less focused on racial coding. The primary divide was between the white plantocracy and the Black majority, with less emphasis on a complex color hierarchy like in Latin America. The Black American or Anglo-American Saxon model used proximate alienation. This is the key difference between slavery in the Caribbean and in Latin America, and what makes us so much different from our counterparts. Enslavers lived on the plantations. Black people were in relentless, intimate contact with whiteness, but were excluded from its humanity. This wasn't distant rule, but embedded subjugation. On top of that, the U.S. developed an intricate hierarchy system inside the Black community itself, colorism, further dividing the group. So in conclusion, the Jamaican identity is seen as more valid, not because it's more authentic or culturally richer, but because it comes with a passport and a flag, recognized symbols of sovereignty in the modern world. It was formed from the familiar story of anti-colonial resistance against a foreign power. It wasn't forged under the same conditions as proximate alienation, a concept that is harder to grasp than direct colonialism. The Black American identity is legitimate because it's revolutionary. It defines itself not by a plot of land given to us by colonizers, but by a shared history and culture built from scratch in the face of relentless oppression. The diasporic division stratagem makes the world value the gift of sovereignty to Jamaica over the creation of sovereignty we made for ourselves in Black America. Anyways, I hope this helps you guys. Don't forget to like, share, save, and follow as we dive more into proximate alienation and DDS and how it stops us from having global Black liberation. Thank you.
What's going on with the family? You know, it's the Cotton Club Radio. I just want to give my perspective on the whole Jamaican situation, you know, with Jamaicans that are, you know, talking crazy about Black Americans. And I'm going to keep it funky with you, family. I'm not surprised. I've lived in New York all my life. I've been around Jamaicans all my life. And to be honest with you, family, this is how they talk. They talk crazy about us when we're not around. You know, when they're comfortable and they're in their circles, they'll talk crazy about you, you know. But the thing about the nuance and the caveat to that, family, they don't do that around us. Never have. I've never had a Jamaican, the ones that I've heard on TikTok, talk like that around me. In fact, they don't even talk patois around me. Not the people I grew up with. You know, the circle that I grew up with were a little different. You know, we just didn't tolerate certain things. You know, if you were Spanish, you didn't come around us talking Spanish. If you were Jamaican, you didn't come around us talking patois. You came around us and you spoke, you act, you thought, you behaved like us. You know, so I'm not surprised that many of the Jamaicans are talking the way that they have. They've been standoffish. They've been had attitudes. The men been sassy. They never liked Americans. The women are okay. You know, they'll chase you. You know, I've been chased. You know, so all the crazy talk, I don't really understand it. I've never have understood it, why they act the way they act and why they, you know, are the way they are with Black Americans, the envy, the jealousy. It's just certain things I never understood about them, you know. They live in their communities. You know, New York is very segregated despite popular belief. You know, Jamaicans live around Jamaicans. We don't really intermingle outside of a casual going to get some oxtails with peas and rice. We don't really deal with them. You know, we don't really mingle with them. Yeah, we had handfuls of them who come around us and intermingle with us, but they're Americanized. They don't come around us talking patois. You understand? They don't bring their stinkiness and, you know, that mustiness behind them. You understand? They're very American, you know, so our relationship has always been distant. You know, with Jamaicans. For the most part, most of them. Yeah, there are a few who they cool. They Americanized. Like I said, they not coming with that island mentality. You know, with that tribal mentality. You understand? People have to understand. There's a reason why when Marcus Garvey tried to bring Pan-Africanism to Jamaicans, they rejected it. They weren't on that. They never, ever, ever was on Pan-Africanism. Marcus Garvey came here. He didn't bring us Pan-Africanism. We embraced Pan-Africanism. So I'm gonna leave it there, family. Holla at me, Cotton Club Radio. You know what it is.
Now, what you gotta say, Jamaica? You got beer American, black American famous people, black American rapper and singer sending y'all billions and millions of dollars, sending mad aid to y'all. But y'all got so much to say about black Americans. You got black American people who have our own struggle here in America, but people still go to different places and donate and send you bare things to help you out with your situation. But you got so much bad mouth and bad things to say about black Americans. It's embarrassing and it's disgusting to say. Especially in America, when people badmouth Jamaica and people badmouth Africa, it be us standing up for y'all. But y'all don't even have the sympathy and the care and the heart enough to stand up for black Americans. We so sick and tired. The black Americans fight for everybody. Every fight that they have in the world, y'all expect black Americans to stand up and fight for y'all and be a voice for y'all because we've been doing it since the abolishment of slavery. But as soon as y'all get a chance, y'all want to badmouth black Americans. But y'all allow Chinamen to come into your community and don't do nothing but rape your community. Buy up all the grocery store, buy up all the things and charge you whatever price they want to charge you. But y'all don't care about that. What the China people sending y'all? What they doing in y'all communities to help y'all? Answer that for me. The white people that come to y'all community and milk up the community and build up mad tourist things, knowing that the people in Jamaica can't afford it because y'all not even getting paid the salaries to afford the prices that they're charging for that, all the places that they're building out, all the modern buildings that they're building out there with the modern apartments. Very few Jamaicans can afford that type of living. What are they doing for y'all communities in Jamaica? Since Jamaica is just so all that. And y'all in black American, just all these bad people that y'all claim that we are. Let's be for real, because I always supported Jamaica. I always looked out for Jamaica. I have property in Jamaica. I employ people in Jamaica, and I always show love to Jamaica. But now I'm really second guessing what I'm doing for a country of people that don't even like us for real. Let's be serious.
African Americans are the only ones in the diaspora that catch all the heat for the transatlantic slave trade.
The diaspora word is diabolical, and it breaks my heart because it is designed by these people. So my mother is Jamaican and my father is African American, and my mother is 74. So she grew up when Jamaica was still a colony of England, and they taught them nothing. They taught them no American history, and they especially didn't teach them no damn African American history. But what they did teach them was all of the negative stereotypes about black people in America. They lie, they steal, they're terrible people, be afraid of them. So when my mom came to New York and she met my dad, they got married, they had kids, she decided, OG nerd that she is, to take it upon herself to educate herself about black people and their experience here in these states. So my mom always says if West Indian people knew what happened to black people in this country, their perspective would be completely different. And we might...
Brother. Let's keep it blood. You've been cosplaying as black for far too long, growing up.
Bro, I'm Jamaican. I'm Jamaican, and I rock with black.
Right.
Yes,
that's right.
Yes, I'm black. I'm
Nothing
black.
wrong with that, brother. But I'm saying the reason why you're thinking this division, because let's be real, black people are phenomenal. We've done phenomenal things. We got a history.
So, yes, we all have. We all family. Yes,
we got over 50,000 patents in this country. Let's keep it real. Who wouldn't want to attach themselves to hip hop, to our culture, the way we walk, the way we talk?
Cool Herc was a part of the pioneer of hip hop
of the world, brother. We're the influencers of the world. Who wouldn't want to rock with us? When y'all come over here and y'all want to dress like us, y'all want to walk like us, y'all want to talk like us, then y'all want to be us.
Hold on. Let's take a break for a second. I don't want to play into this division. I don't want to play into this division But I would say Jamaica have a very big influence all over the world. Stamped.
Not bigger than us.
Very extremely big.
Not
Stamped.
bigger than us.
Stamped.
Not bigger than us. I mean, that's debatable then. That's debatable.
Bro, we can say this about what? We can say this about any race, and every race has done great things, bro. One is not greater than the other.
Right. Every race has done great things. I'm not saying they haven't.
There's no point of dividing, bro. We're all one people. We're all created from the same source, bro. Women, men, like skin color, like race is just an illusion.
Yeah, race is literally a social construct to keep us
a construct to divide people. Like
But
imagine, like,
the
oh,
brother is saying, hold on,
you're
guys.
this
The
color,
brother
you
is saying that. I also heard the host saying also that they don't get credit for what they do, which they don't.
If you like what the speakers, go ahead and gift them. Go ahead and tap. We're not at 11K yet. Get us to 11K. There's 140 people in here. We should be at 30K. So keep it a buck. Show some love. Show some love.
Can I ask a question? Quick question.
They'll act different towards black Americans than they do to the white tourists. When the white tourists show up, boy, they're skinning and grinning. Welcome to Jamaica, man. Oh, y'all throw that accent? Welcome. Out of many, we are one. Oh, when the white people show up, it's all teeth. Now, when we go to the resorts, hey, brother, can I get an extra towel? Soak your mother. They give you the stank look. Damn, I just need an extra towel, brother. Okay. We're coming up soon. Then it take about 3 hours for them to bring up one wash rag. They do a little passive-aggressive shit with us. Come on, they've been doing that. Don't let them make you think this hurricane that made them think like that. See, a lot of these people over there, they're working at them resorts. They live in poverty. The people over there, they can't even access their own beaches over there. You can't go to your own beaches over there. But Foundation of Black Americans, we can go to the beaches. We didn't have to bow down to no European powers either. We didn't have to sign no deals. So that triggers a lot of feelings of inadequacy and a lot of economic jealousy. This is why they always hollering about, we go down there entitled. Oh, you're arrogant. Now, when white people go over there, they don't have to ask twice for nothing. That scene is just normal or professional. See, because in that colonial mindset, in that society, they're taught that white people have the right to demand excellence and good service. But black people should be passive and grateful. So when foundational Black Americans show up, wanting things to be done right after we spend our money, oh, entitled arrogance. No, that's not entitlement or arrogance. We just want what we paid for. And we don't even ask for much. Just we want a clean room. When we go there, we want good service, clean room. We're giving you all this damn money. Give us some good service. Bumback entitled.
You know, guys, these groups of people, Black Americans and Jamaicans, they both underwent slavery. Jamaicans were also transported during the transatlantic slave trade, but this is not talked much about, and I don't know why there is always this fight about whose identity is more important. Some Jamaicans feel like their identity is more important than Black Americans' identity. No, guys, both groups of people underwent harsh treatment from these colonizers. Jamaica was colonized by Spain in the 1500s, and later the UK took over. They also underwent harsh treatment under these colonizers, and that does not make Black Americans' pain to be less or Black Americans to be less important. Both Black Americans and Jamaicans deserve grace, they deserve love, they deserve everything good. I believe that these diaspora wars are just online, but on the ground, people do really love each other. Jamaicans, Black Americans, they do interact. So I don't know why there is always this fight about who is better, who suffered more, who suffered less, because that does not count right now, because it can't lessen the pain, it can't lessen the trauma that these groups of people underwent. Instead, what can work is unity and love between these groups of people. The fact that both groups are Black people is just amazing, and we need to send love to each other. We need to be giving each other grace instead of all these fights every now and then online. Yeah, the fact that both groups of people, Jamaicans and Black Americans, underwent slavery, they underwent harsh treatment under the colonizers, is something that needs to unite these people. It's something that it's like history, shared history, whereby they suffered in this way and this group of people suffered in this way. So no one is allowed to come here and just talk shit about Black Americans or Jamaicans. Let's spread love, let's spread unity among these groups of people. There is no need for war, there is no need for who is better, who has an identity, who has a culture, who doesn't have what and what. No, guys. Black Americans are humans too. They deserve love. They deserve everything good. They have a culture which needs to be respected and not just to be copied and not given credit. We need to appreciate their culture. We need to acknowledge that they paved the way for many groups of people in America. Many groups of people are enjoying their rights right now in America because of Black Americans' ancestors, and that is something that does not need to be taken for granted. Even for those Jamaicans who moved from Jamaica to America, you are enjoying the rights right now in America because of Black Americans, and never forget that, because most of the time people are just questioning about Black Americans' identity, their origin, their culture, but not even appreciating that they are humans. They paved way for them, and a lot more is happening because of Black Americans. They built that nation America. And so guys, let's spread some love. Let's spread some grace towards each other. Let's live as Black people. Let's be united. And with that said, let me know your thoughts about this in the comment section down below. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share, and I really appreciate. See you in the next video. Bye.